What are you laughing at?
I'm just kidding, let me get warmed up, okay? Welcome to Never a Dull Moment, everyone. Tonight, the surprise you're going to have is that my wife is mic'd up. She's not feeling the best, but at least you'll hear her more clearly. Today's episode is about knife rolls. It is about the different role that they play for you, the knife enthusiast slash chef, and it's about what goes in the knife roll. Okay, so I have two knife rolls here, and so let me explain what these bags are for. If you're an aspiring chef, if you're a professional chef, if you're a cooking enthusiast or a knife collector, and you feel like traveling to another place, whether it's grandma's house and you're doing some cooking for Thanksgiving, or you've been invited to cook at a party, or you've been hired, for whatever reason, even if you're just changing locations, moving from one town to the next, you might want your very expensive cooking tools and everything to travel with you. Now, to do this safely, we have everything from airlines to the back of the car to just people mishandling your items. And so I have a couple of knife rolls for you today, so that way you can see some of the options that are out there. So first of all, we have one by a company called Daostrong. This is about a $129 knife roll, and this has 22 slots in it. So let me go ahead real quick and kind of roll this up and show you what it would look like if you were traveling from point A to point B. You've got these nylon handles. Obviously, the camouflage design is just one of the many options that they have. You have the tote in case you want to do that. Okay, and it's adjustable. For a lot of people, they would actually take this off and they would just use the actual handles that it comes with.
Well, they're the clips too.
And if I had rolled this all the way, these clips would come over the top and it would actually clip this together for you. Okay, and it's adjustable because you can see I've got it full and it became like a hefty size bag. So this particular knife roll, being made of a nylon material, it's obviously going to be resistant to a lot of things, especially some of the oils and grease and things like that you might have. Make sure you clean your tools before you put them back, but at least they made some material that's going to help you. And you're in the kitchen, you're laying it there. You want some resistance to some of those liquids that are in the kitchen. But once you undo this particular knife roll at that price point, $129, does a lot. You have a couple of pockets on the inside that allow for miscellaneous things. I just have, one miscellaneous thing in here, which would be like if you wanted to put herbs and just throw it in, like say a soup that you're making or consomme. So that way you can travel, because it's kind of an odd thing. Obviously, you can fill this up with many odd things. Notepads, we've got slots for pencils and pens. Obviously, you can put some business cards in here as well. With this one in particular, I was trying to think, there's actually a business card slot on this. So that way, if you were traveling on the outside, you can just pull your business card out and you're ready to go. But when you remove these flaps, this is when you're going to reveal. So this Velcro kind of holds it down. Whoops, we got something down. We've got these flaps here to show many of the tools that a chef may need. So we have everything from tasting spoons. We've these different designer spoons for plating, offset spatulas, whisk, the different types of tweezers for plating, your different spatulas, any kind of spoon, thermometer. Now, it turns out the way I had that in there, it did press the thermometer button, so you might want to take the battery out for travel. And when you take the battery out for travel, you can just put it back. That way you don't accidentally wear out the battery in your thermometer. Okay, so we've got some tongs, but most importantly, it's a knife roll. So we need to actually have some knives. And I only have a couple of knives in here, but I want to demonstrate placing a knife in here. So I've got a microplane, I've got a ceramic honing rod, I've even got a stropping board. This has got some 0.5 micron gunny juice on it in case I need to strop the edge of the knife, fish tweezers, bread knife, your different types of spatula. And so even though you see some knives in there, there are a variety of knives that a person can put in here. But one of the things you need to check whenever you're purchasing these is measurements. Now, if you're not a professional sushi chef, I can't imagine how many times that you would need a 300 millimeter Yanagaba or even a Tsujihiki. But you would need to know that if you did try to place one of these in here, okay, one, it's nice that a bag like this has some Velcro to secure the knife. But you'll note that this particular bag does not accommodate a knife at 300 millimeter. Okay, if I were to try to close this bag, this particular material and then this knife, we're gonna cut a hole. We're gonna have a problem. So make sure you check your measurements. I don't know how many of you are professional sushi chefs. I know that they make bags that specifically tell you that they will handle a 300 millimeter knife. But in this particular instance, and there we are. We already had a little mishap. In this particular instance, this knife will not travel in this bag. Okay? So again, like how rare is it that a person actually need a 300 millimeter knife? I mean, you guys are out there dealing with $1 million tuna. I get it. But so this bag in particular, it comes at a great affordable price point, durable material, lots of different pockets, accessibility to a lot of things, lots of tools. I actually can see you, when you see the other knife roll, I can see a lot of cooking tools being put in here. But then maybe I might be traveling with my knife separately and something else that I'm about to show you. Now, I know what you're gonna say. You're like, Greg, I think you're gonna be a little bit biased on the next one. It's not so much bias on the next one, it's just the quality. So let's go over here. We have now, this is by Hidemaster, and if you know anything, Hidemaster had made the apron for the show. They do logos for you. If you've never actually looked at the material, the leather that is protecting me from being cut or jabbed, I mean, it's a thing.
It's thick, yeah.
Yeah, and I actually very much feel protected for having this on from any type of mishap. I mean, I'm not saying that a knife couldn't go through and poke me, but I definitely feel like to a certain degree I'm gonna be okay. So this particular leather is a little different than this apron. This is a bovine leather that's a lot softer. So this is going to be like a more luxurious. And again, you see that there is a never a dull moment logo put in there. This price point of this particular bag, this Mont Blanc bag holds 10 knives. It has 10 spots, I should say, 4 knives. This Mont Blanc bag comes in at $225. And they'll let you know on the Hidemaster website, which there'll be a link in the description, but they will let you know that putting a logo on there is no extra charge. Okay? So again, you're gonna have that luxury handle, you know, that to throw it over your shoulder in case you're traveling.
Your strap's not hooked, babe. In case there's something.
Yeah, no, I knew I didn't undo that because for the show, I didn't want to have to like spend all the time kind of undoing it. And I just threw this in there. I didn't even do that because
okay, yeah, it's got the actual buckles,
very
like
secure. Like
like
when you put this in,
yeah,
it's very secure and it takes a second to undo. But for the essence of time, interest of time, I went ahead and did this.
So I'm here.
I want to show you the softness of this leather. So it again, high quality leather. This is a little bit more durable and pliable. It just has a softness. Again, we have an extra pocket, so some miscellaneous things that come, business cards, notes, a place for pens. Now you're going to say to yourself, Greg, this is $100 more, and it can hold less. That's true. I feel like that maybe the knives are a little bit more protected. I'm sorry, like you're paying for the body armor of the knife to be a higher quality body armor, more durable. When this lays down and rolls over that knife, the leather that's between the two is really protecting the blades. The last thing we want is we don't want the blades themselves to cling and clang. You know, so if I didn't have protective covers, I do feel like the leather is going to give me a great option for protecting against the blade. But, and I also want to point out in this particular one that once again, this particular, it does not, once again, does not handle a knife up to 300 millimeter. But this one's 270 millimeter and we have no problem. So 270 millimeter on the Mont Blanc is the capacity. I just don't have the room for the 300 millimeter. Again, I don't know who all's.
But you said there's like probably a sushi roll, like.
Well, there are just, when I was on several other websites and everything, it's very hard and you have to even sometimes call to ask. It's not a very common thing to have one that will accommodate up to 300 millimeter. I'm taking that out specifically so I can show you. So we have an extra pocket over here. Again, more miscellaneous things if you needed it. It's got that nice suede feel on the inside. Okay. So there could be two versions of like you going out to do your job. I would tell you, you know, if you were using the leather, there's so many ways to say this. One, are you going to take two of these? Are you going to have one with chef equipment and then the other one with knives? You know, if you can get everything in here, I get it. If you want a little better quality protection, how many knives do you need? Okay. If I've got this chef knife at 250 millimeter, I probably don't need the 270 millimeter slicing knife. And if I have a Santoku or a Bunka as my working knife, okay, I really can handle the onions and garlic and all the other. So between a chef knife, a Bunka or a Santoku at like 180, 170 millimeter, then we have like the paring knife.
Yeah.
So we had like a paring knife, and then we had a bread knife. So if we were not traveling with the Tsujihiki, and we had the bread knife, we definitely have all the knives we need to be able to handling our fish slicing. I mean, if you need a Yanagaba, a single-sided knife, I get it, but just remember 270 is gonna be your max. And then you still have other slots for everything like, and you still have these pockets if you want to throw the thermometer in there. We've already got a place for the pens, the business cards. You definitely want to be able to put a notebook so you can take notes, because the stickers are great for when you start to tag if you are doing food prep and you need to tag individual items like chive, shallot, so on. So when you're ready to go, you have those properly marked. You're gonna need paper. You're gonna need your pens, regular pens, Sharpies that make it clear as day. So you can take an abbreviated, version of the chef roll or the knife roll. I will tell you that on average, your knife rolls are 6, 8, and up to 10. I had to search long and hard to find this thing that held 22. It's not common, okay? They make other ones that are bigger, that are like suitcases or backpacks, and they're a bit more obtrusive. They work amazing. They're out there. I'll definitely put links in the description of all the different kinds and shapes. I'll even take a moment to get some screenshots and throw them up over what I'm saying so you can see the different types of knife rolls that are not represented here. But I just wanted to also show you, you've got the knives that you travel with that are unprotected, which you can put in the bag. And then when you use the leather itself will protect the blades. But you also have a couple other choices. These edge protectors, I'll put a link in the description. I get them on Amazon. They're hardly any money for you to put. They come in a variety of sizes. You can see another size right here for the paring knife. Okay, so you're easily able to slide the blade in there and for travel, protect the edge. And some of you, like this Masamoto KS, it came with its own saya. Okay, so it's nice because it came with its own protection. Some of the different knife websites carry these. There are people who make them individually. I know some people who 3D print them, put your own logos on them. And there are some people who have them in leather. So you have a variety of protection for the edges of your blade. But the nice thing again about the leather one, these both are designed to protect the edges of your knife. But it's $100 more for a reason. Quality of the material, quality of protection for you. If I've got this thing rolled up and I bump into another person, that knife's not going through the leather and hurting somebody. It's not going to hurt me. Thank you. You have this in the car. I have children, people jumping in and out. Please don't sit on my knives. But if someone were to do something, I feel a little bit better on the protection through travel, through relocating. So also, you know, everything has to be taken care of. So remember, this is leather. Try to wipe everything down. Try to wipe your tools down before you leave the venue that you're working at. Make sure that your blades are clean. Make sure that you get them dry before you put them there. And another thing I would tell you is do not leave your knives in the roll in your car. We have many instances where cars are broken into and they are stolen, and that is sad. And at the same time, if there was moisture in there and you didn't get them out when you were home, you've got a variety of I mean, it's everything from motor mildew in the handle, some type of dry rot or moisture that can help rot out the wood. It is just, you know, wood. I would just tell you not to leave these. I would come home and take my tools, like my knives in particular, put them away, put a oil coating on there to protect them. But so I'm definitely going to put, you know, a link to the Hide Master website. These are also available. I know Tony has had this on Tokushu Knife. Tony is one of the sponsors of the show. I got this directly from Hide Master, and that's how we got the logo put on there. It was nothing extra to have that logo put on there. And they just did a great job, actually. Super excited about the logo. Again, super soft. This Daostrong, 129. This one, 225. They have another version of this leather one. I think it's called the Denali. And it holds 8 knives, and it's down to like 179. Okay, so, but still the same quality leather, just a little bit less storage. All right, so it's really been fun to kind of be out there and talk and see some of the different chefs, what they keep. A lot of them do keep a variety of tools, but I've definitely seen a lot of the professionals have more than one knife roll. These are a couple of options that I'm glad I was able to share with you. I'm definitely enjoying these. Hopefully this wasn't a dull moment. This is definitely something necessity that you have to have. If you're going to own nice knives, you're going to travel with them, you want to protect them. I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. We're trying to mix it up and show a couple of everything. We didn't really get to hear my wife too much tonight with the new microphone, but it's here to stay. Okay, so we'll catch her on another video cracking this up. We love you guys, and thank you for your support always. We'll see you next Friday.